Though we study binomial distribution in great detail in probability, we'll just make a reference to it here and we'll try and understand when exactly a random experiment is going to follow a binomial distribution. So a random experiment will follow a binomial distribution if it satisfies the three given conditions. First, there should be n trials. That is, there should be something which should repeat n times. Or say for example, suppose a coin is tossed 10 times, or it could be we have simultaneous occurrences of n similar things. Maybe 10 coins are tossed simultaneously. So both these scenarios represent there are n trials. Now the second condition is trials are independent. Now, one of the important conditions in binomial distribution is these trials or each successive or simultaneous trials, they should be independent of each other. Now, suppose if I'm tossing a coin, now I get some result. Now, if I toss the coin again, so the result that I'll get in case of a fair coin won't depend on what was the result in the previous case. So, these trials, if they are independent, then we'll consider it for binomial distribution. And if they are not independent, then we cannot use binomial distribution. And the third one is for each trial, there should be only two outcomes, either success or failure. So each trial must result in only two conditions or two mutually exclusive conditions. Either it should be successful or it should be a failure. So we call this probability of success as P and we call probability of failure as Q. And we know that since it is mutually exclusive and exhaustive, so basically value of P plus Q should be 1. So binomial distribution is characterized by three conditions. So there should be n trials. The trials should be independent and each trial should result in either success or failure. So binomial distribution is also represented as B and then n comma P, where this n, it represents number of trials and this P, it represents probability of success. Now probability of failure can be worked out as 1 minus P. Now when n independent trials are conducted for any random experiment and we are looking for success and failure, so how many cases will be there or what could be the value of random variable in these cases? So when I perform a trial n times, then the condition I can get is either out of these n trials, I get zero success. Like all the trials results in failure. Say for example, if I'm tossing a coin 10 times, suppose my success is getting a heads. Now out of these 10 times, I do not get heads even once. So it results in like all failure, which is zero success. Or maybe if I'm tossing it and I get head once and the remaining 9 times it has resulted in tails. So in that case, it'll be only one success or it could be two successes or maximum it can result in 10 successes, that is or n successes. So in the case of this coin experiment, so if I'm tossing a coin 10 times, then the minimum number of times I'll get heads is 0 and the maximum number of times that I'll get heads is simply 10. So this random variable here in case of binomial distribution, it takes the values from 0 to n. Now probability of this random variable taking the value r, where this value of r lies between 0 to n, is given by, now when I say x equals r, it simply means probability of getting exactly r success. So that is out of these n trials, r trials resulted in success and remaining n minus r trials resulted in failure. So in this case, so if I say there are r successes, then and these successes they are independent, and we know that in case of independent events, probability of a1 intersection a2 is simply probability of a1 into probability of a2. So these are successes. I can present it as p into p into p, that is r times. And for each of this n minus r failures, I can represent it as q into q into q, n minus r times. Now we have multiplied this p into p into p r times and q into q into q, n minus r times. Now I need to find out whether I need to multiply it with any coefficient or I should leave it just like that. Now I'll take up a simple case. Say for example, a coin, it is tossed maybe 3 times and I need to find the probability of x equal to 1, which is probability of getting exactly one success, and in this case I'll define a success as getting a heads. Now out of these 3 times I should have 1 heads and 2 tails. Now probability of getting 1 heads, it is 1 by 2, and probability of getting a tails, it is 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 into 1 by 2 will be 1 by 2 square. Now should I multiply it with any factor? Now when I'm tossing a coin 3 times, there could be the possibilities where either it will result in HTT or THT or TTNH. So all the 3 cases corresponds to exactly one success, but then there are distinct cases in sample space. So that is, when I'm considering R successes, or when I'm considering in this case one success, I'll also need to find out where this success or which trial has actually resulted in this success. So basically it should have this number 3 multiplied to it. So it should be 3 into 1 by 2 into 1 by 2 square. So position, or we need to identify the trials where this success is going to come from. So that simply means how many different or distinct cases we'll have in sample space where we'll have R of these trials, out of n trials, resulting in this condition where we'll have R successes and n minus R failures. So it means we need to select R distinct cases from n given trials. So it can be done in simply NC R ways. So I can express this probability of success as P x to the x equals R as NCR. I write this Q first, Q to the power n minus R into P to the power R, and which corresponds to general term in binomial theorem. So that's the reason we call this distribution as binomial distribution. And here the value of R is going to start from 0 and end up to n. So that is the reason we call this as binomial distribution. And we also know that sum of all probabilities is equal to summation R varies from 0 to n, NCR Q to the power n minus R into P to the power R will result in binomial distribution of P plus Q to the power n, and the value of P plus Q is simply 1. So that is, sum of all these probabilities will always be 1. Now let us take another question in binomial distribution. Now the question is, a pair of fair dice is thrown independently 3 times. We need to find the probability of getting a sum of 9 on the upper faces exactly twice. Now the first thing that we need to figure out is whether or not we can apply binomial distribution to this random experiment. Now the first condition is condition of number of trials. Now a pair of fair dice is thrown 3 times. So that means the number of trials in this case is simply 3. So we have 3 trials. And secondly, it is already given the question that these trials are independent. So it's already given in the question. Now the third condition is each of these trials should result in a success or failure. So now in this case, getting the sum of 9 is success and not getting a sum of 9 is failure. So we'll have 2 cases. Either the sum on the upper faces is 9 or this sum is not equal to 9. So I need to find this probability of getting the sum 9 and the probability of not getting the sum 9. If I'll roll this pair of dice, I know the total number of elements in the sample space will be 6 into 6. So for each of the dice, I'll have 6 conditions. So 6 into 6, there will be 36 cases. So I'll need to figure out all those cases where the sum of the numbers is simply 9. So sum of the numbers will be 9 when we'll have this either 3, 6, 4, 5, 5, 4 and 6, 3. So if it results in either of these conditions, then the sum will be 9, else the sum won't be 9. So the probability of getting the sum 9 will be simply 4 by 36, which is 1 by 9, and not getting the sum 9, it is simply 1 minus 1 by 9, and that should be 8 by 9. Now it says we need to find the probability of getting exactly we need to find the probability of getting the sum of 9 exactly twice. So that is, out of these 3 trials, we need to find the probability of exactly 2 successes. So I need to find probability when the value of a random variable is 2. So it should be 3c2 q to the power 1 and p to the power 2. So it will be 3c2. What is the value of q? Q is 8 by 9. And what is the value of p? P is 1 by 9 So 3c2 is simply 3. This is 8. It'll be simply 9 cube. So it'll be 8. And this is 3 to the power 6. So it'll be 3 to the power 5. So the probability of getting a sum of 9 on the upper face is exactly twice is 8 upon 3 to the power 5. So let us consider a case in binomial probability. And the question is, a multiple choice examination has 5 questions. Each question has 3 alternatives, of which exactly one is correct. We need to find the probability that a student will get 4 or more correct answers just by guessing. Now we need to figure out whether we can apply binomial distribution in this given question. Now the first condition is there should be n trials. Now if I look at this question, this multiple choice examination has 5 questions, and for each of the question the student has to guess an answer, so which makes it 5 independent trials, right? So this question, it will have 5 trials, and we'll assume that he's going to guess the options independently. So all these trials, they are independent. And the third one is, for each trial there should be only 2 conditions, success or failure. In this case we want to find out whether his answer is correct or his answer is wrong. So getting a correct answer is success in this case, and getting a wrong answer is results in failure. Now what is the probability of getting a correct answer? So if any question has 3 alternatives, out of which exactly one is correct, then probability of getting the correct answer is 1 by 3. So that means probability of getting a wrong answer is 2 by 3. Now we need to find out of these 5 trials, a student will get 4 or more correct answers. So that is, we need to find out the condition where we have at least 4 successes. That is, the value of random variable should be either 4 or greater than 4. So I know that the value of R will lie between 0 and 5. So that is 0 success to 5 success. So probability of x greater than or equal to 4 simply will be probability of x equal to 4 plus probability of x equals 5. Now what is probability of x equal to 4? So that is 5c4 q to the power 1 p to the power 4 and plus 5c5 q to the power 0 and p to the power 5. So now I'll put the value. So I'll write it as 5c4, and what's q? Q in this case is 2 by 3, and p is 1 by 3 to the power 4, and then it'll be 5c5, it is 2 by 3 to the power 0, and then 1 by 3 to the power 5. So actually I'll take 1 by 3 to the power 5 common, and here I'll get 5c4, which is 5 into 2 is 10, and then plus here it will be 5c5, which is 1. So answer to this question will be 11 upon 3 to the power 5. So the probability that a student will get 4 or more correct answers just by guessing is simply 11 upon 3 to the power 5.
If you like the video, consider subscribing and sharing it with someone you know who might benefit from it. Also, the best way to navigate any topic is through a playlist. Simply go to the channel page, click playlist, and select the topic you wish to study.